Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slatrock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Today we're talking about 8 questionable things that WWE blew millions on during the Attitude Era. Number 8. Building the Max Moon costume. When you look at characters such as Jushin Thunder Liger, it's obvious there are clear parallels between pro wrestling and anime. Both rely on colorful, larger-than-life characters who wage epic wars of good versus evil. But when the WWF tried to introduce their own anime hero in 1991, a few years before the Attitude Era started, things didn't go to plan. Signing Konnan to a lucrative deal, the WWF christened him Max Moon, giving him an uncomfortable neon blue outfit, complete with wrist-mounted gauntlets that shot out fireworks. Claiming that Moon was from another world, the gimmick quickly died, with Konnan leaving to join WCW, where he had much more success during the Monday Night Wars. Refusing to lose out on the $13,000 costume, the WWF quickly replaced Konnan with Paul Diamond, who received the role only because he could fit in the suit. He didn't do well with it either, and Max Moon was quickly sent back to his home planet. Number 7. Opening WWF New York. There are few business prospects riskier than opening a restaurant, and that risk is only made bigger when you're in prime real estate like Times Square. Never afraid to roll the dice though, Vince McMahon opened the restaurant in 1999, hoping to sponge more money from his loyal fans. This plan worked for a while as fans crowded the bar as their establishment of choice for viewing Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views. Unfortunately, for the rest of the week, the place was deserted, as when not showing WWF content, the place was just one of several bars in Times Square where people could buy beer and wings. Despite merchandise sales making over $16 million from the location in its 4 years, a bar that was only making money 3 days a week clearly wasn't going to work, as WWF New York lost an estimated $35.5 million during its tenure, money that Vince could have saved if he'd never entered the restaurant business in the first place. Number 6. Buying the rights to Gangrel. Despite never holding gold in the WWF, the career of David Gangrel Heath has lived on with fans due to his unique gimmick. Appearing as a vampire in the Attitude Era, his demonic look and fiery entrance made Gangrel a huge star of the mid-card, so it wasn't surprising that he lasted with the company for so long. What was confusing though is his character's choice of name, as the term Gangrel had already been trademarked by White World Publishing for use in role-playing games. That meant that any appearance of the name Gangrel, whether it be on TV, on merchandise, or in video games, would lead to the WWF paying White Wolf an absurd amount in royalty fees. All of this could have been avoided if Vince decided to name the vampire literally any other name, but McMahon clearly liked the sound of Gangrel and stuck to it. Now, years later, Heath has said that the serious hassle behind his name, as well as the fortunate cost to use, means he believes he'll never be offered a Legends contract, a real shame given his popularity. Number 5. Giving Bob Holly his own race car. The first mistake that the WWE made when giving Bob Holly the character of race car driver Thurman's Sparky Plug is thinking that anyone would think a race car driver turned wrestler made the slightest bit of sense. The second mistake was diving headfirst into trying to make the character work, with the WWE creating an actual WWE stock car for Holly to drive. Seen in promos at various races, Holly would actually be flown with the car to several races for the All-Pro Series, where he would compete with actual drivers. When you include the cost of car repairs and the pit stop into all of this, it was clear that this was one of the WWF's most expensive superstars. Worst of all, this happened in 1995, one of WWE's most financially unstable years, which is probably why the character was quickly dropped, Vince cut his losses, and Sparky Plug became Hardcore Holly. Don't feel too bad for Sparky though, as Holly was allowed to keep the car for free, a very generous offer that probably helped build the Hardcore Champion's loyalty. Number 4. Trying to turn the Debbie Reynolds Hotel into a WWE casino. Despite the failure of WWF New York, the restaurant wasn't the only example of the company trying to branch out into other properties. In late 1998, Vince McMahon purchased the Debbie Reynolds Hollywood Hotel and Casino for a hefty $10.65 million. Purchased during the height of the Attitude Era, the rumored plan was that the venue would continue to be a hotel and casino with WWF logos plastered all over it. According to Bruce Pritchard, ideas circulated the WWE office, including daily matches, retired wrestlers as greeters, and even an Undertaker-themed tattoo parlor. Other potential ideas for the venue included a WWE museum or a physical Hall of Fame, which is why it was so shocking that the WWF didn't do anything with the real estate. Instead, McMahon sold the casino in 2000, and even though they earned over $11 million in the sale, the cost of upkeep means this purchase was definitely a loss. Number 3. Doing whatever it took to steal Marc Mero. While Marc Mero was a fine mid-carder, it's clear in hindsight that he was never going to be the next top star in the WWF. Working with WCW as Johnny B. Bad, Mero was a fine television champion, winning the title on 3 occasions, but wasn't exactly known for setting the world on fire. Despite this, when Mero's contract was up in 1996, Vince was quick to snatch him up, not realizing that Mero hadn't really trained to be a wrestler, but instead had focused his time to play the Johnny B. Bad character. In one of the earliest steals of the Monday Night War, Mero received the first guaranteed contract in WWE history, which came at great expense to the chairman. Debuting for WWE at WrestleMania 12, things looked promising for Mero, who interrupted Triple H at the pay-per-view and defeated Isaac Yankem, aka Kane, the next night on Raw. However, Mero would never reach anywhere close to the main event and left the WWF in 1999, and now works as a motivational speaker. Number 2. Mark Henry's insane rookie contract. Mark Henry and Marc Mero both joined the WWF with huge contracts, but the difference between the two is that the Hall of Pain founder eventually paid back McMahon's investments. After competing at the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, the powerlifter was quickly signed to a $10 million 10-year contract with the WWF, despite coming 14th out of 18 in the super heavyweight division. Things got worse for McMahon though, as not long after signing Henry to an unprecedented deal, Vince quickly found out that the world's strongest man couldn't wrestle. While the decade-long contract did give the Texan plenty of time to develop as a wrestler, the company clearly wanted to cut ties with him, involving him in some of the most embarrassing and offensive feuds, hoping he would quit. Instead, Henry would continue to develop as a wrestler, and by the time he became World Heavyweight Champion in 2011, the Super Heavyweight had become one of SmackDown's most entertaining stars. Even though Henry would eventually make Vince's money back and then some, there must have been many years where Vince thought about how he could have saved the money by never hiring the rookie in the first place. Number 1. Wasting millions on the XFL. The XFL may go down in history as one of Vince McMahon's greatest failures. After the massive success of the Attitude Era, McMahon claimed to bring his own brand of sports entertainment to football, describing the NFL as the No Fun League. Feeling he could take on the biggest American football organization ever, Vince partnered with NBC to broadcast the new league, paying around $50 million to fund the NFL alternative. While initial viewing figures were high, the ratings quickly declined, as fans began to realize that all the players with actual talent were already signed to the NFL, leading to very boring matches. Football fans also rejected the WWE-esque sports entertainment involved with the show, with players encouraged to have characters, such as Rod Smart, whose jersey had "He Hate Me" plastered on the back. After costing Vince $35 million, the league was canceled after just one season, and fans thought they'd seen the end of the XFL. That was until January 2018, when McMahon announced a new XFL scheduled for 2020, which he sure hopes will right the wrongs of the biggest financial blunder in his entire life. Well guys, that's our list. Can you think of anything else WWE blew millions of dollars on during the Attitude Era? If so, drop us a comment below and let us know. If you like this video, don't forget to check out our previous video, 10 wrestlers who betrayed their current boss to jump to other promotions. Also check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. If you did like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and that bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.